Real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a pack rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
It's the Chase! It's the Chase! Live 1 to 3, Monday through Friday on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville. Listen to Chase and his friends on WKG. It's the Chase. It's the Scruffy City. Listen to his friends, and his friends are on WKGN. I'm always taking your calls on the Tennessee Vols. It's the Chase. It's the Chase. It's the Chase.
All right, the Chase is on Knoxville. My name is Chase Thomas, joined alongside Ethan Stone of Saturday Down South. We're coming to you live from beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee, here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios on this Thursday afternoon. Ethan, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, Chase, and mostly because this is the last time I'm going to talk to you without college football on our television screens, at least per week. You know, like we got college football this Saturday, and then we got more college football after that, and then we got more college football after that, and it just keeps going. It's a wonderful time of year.
You had me in the first half. I was really concerned where that sentence was going to start.
I'm quitting.
Yeah, I was going to say he was like starting the podcast, the radio show with that, and I was like, okay, all right, Ethan, just out of nowhere here. And so we've got college football here, week 0, kicking things off this weekend in Ireland. But yeah, we got a jam-packed schedule this week. High school football. We'll talk to Vols Tim here in segment number 2 to get a update and kind of preview our Fan Run Football Fridays radio show we're doing here every Friday night right here in the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios, where I'll be at different games throughout this high school football season here in East Tennessee. So it's going to be fun to talk with Tim and kind of get some thoughts there. We're going to talk about Kamari Blair, 4-star offensive tackle from in-state Tennessee, flipping surprisingly today from South Carolina to Tennessee. So we'll kick off our conversation there, along with some Joey Aguilar stuff that Ethan wrote over there at Saturday Down South as well. We'll dive into another big column from Ethan over there at SDS and his 4 teams with Boomer Bust potential. Break that down, that you can go check out on SaturdayDownSouth.com. In hour number 2, we'll talk about Clarence Masamba, who met the media this week for Tennessee basketball, and what we heard from him, and also Nate Ament, and some interesting comments about a new teammate he has here at the University of Tennessee. We'll talk to Logan Booker of 960 The Ref back there in Athens, Georgia, to talk a little Dogs, a little Vols as well. So we'll get some Georgia insight on the Georgia front from Logan Booker from 960 The Rev. So make sure you check out that at 2:15. We'll also do a player review series as we continue on here with our resident college basketball aficionado, Ethan Stone, and get his perspective on Felix Okpara and his season last year with the Vols, and then some SEC hoops conversations as well. So a lot of hoops conversation today on the Tennessee and college basketball front, and a whole lot of Tennessee football as well. So thank you for making the Chase part of your daily listen right here on Fan Run Radio and Fox Sports Knoxville 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. We're also live on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and watch us there. If you want to watch this program, you can do so with ease over there on Fan Run Sports. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you're watching us there, and also comment, join the live stream as well. You can call us throughout today's show at 865-966-3435 is the way to do so. 865-966-3435 is the way to jump in here today. We've also got intern Alex Sarkis back on a Thursday. Alex, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good today, Chase. Good to be back on the show. Excited to talk all things Tennessee as usual.
Yeah, well, we're glad to have you here on this Thursday week back at school. So everything's still okay on the acclimation front? Does it feel like you're back in school, or is it still just going to you're not doing real coursework yet, so it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, I'd say in terms of class, we're kind of easing into things. But over at the Beacon, we're full steam ahead.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of sports going on, and we got soccer played last night at 10 p.m. against UCLA. So some late nights, but hey, we're doing our thing. We're loving it.
There you go. We've also got Brett Hollander, who'll be here for Tuesdays and Thursdays before another big edition for Brett here in a couple of weeks. But Brett, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, buddy. Yeah, and full go for 3 hours before this. So it's only right that I'm doing 2 days, getting ready for the season, right? I guess.
Yeah, you got to get back in form. Like it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm not in a battle for the producer spot over here like Aguilar and Merkinger and all those guys. I don't feel any pressure like those guys felt. But, I want to do good for the quarterback over here, I guess, though, right?
Well, I appreciate that. It's because it's been a tough summer for me as the leader of the Merklinger camp.
I was on your side on that, by the way.
I'm not selling my stock yet. I want to see what happens.
Okay.
He might get in the game. You don't know.
I mean, I agree.
Look,
never know.
3 of the last 4 years, Tennessee's starting quarterback has gotten hurt. Joe Milton in 2021, Hendon Hooker in the South Carolina game in 2022, and then Nico got knocked out in the Mississippi State game.
That's true.
This past year as well. So we shall see how it will ultimately go. But like I said, jam-packed show here today. But we were going to start with Joey Aguilar and Ethan's column there, but we actually have to start with Kamari Blair, who flipped from South Carolina to Tennessee. It was kind of a surprising move anyway when he did commit to South Carolina at the time. He's an in-state guy. Tennessee already has 5-star offensive tackle Gabriel Osenda, big squish over there at the Baylor school in this class. But Kamari Blair is another he's just a big dude. He's 6'6", 280 from Kirkwood High School in Clarksville, Tennessee. And you just keep stacking tackles. This is part of my deal is when people look at Darius Gray and guys like that, it's like he's a guard and only a guard. Kamari Blair could be a tackle at Tennessee. He could be a guard at Tennessee. He has that kind of flexibility, it looks like. So he, on Rivals, is the number 22 overall offensive tackle, number 7 in the state. He's the number 7 prospect in the state on 247 as well. So they basically have about the same projections for Kamari Blair at the time. But that's 3 now tackles, 2 of which I think are probably guards at this level, or they can go either way, and that being JP Shabazz out of North Carolina, another 4-star, along with Kamari Blair, and then, like we said, Big Squish, who seems like he is just a tackle at the next level. But Ethan, when you saw this, what was your reaction, and how big is Kamari Blair to Tennessee here?
Yeah, Chase, it's always good when you add people in the trenches, right? And I figured out as I was coming over here, it's just happened, 11 o'clock, 11:45, a little later. So fresh information, fresh news, obviously. And, it's good to get an in-state guy. Also, like you say, from Clarksville. I would agree with you that I think, he's 50 pounds lighter than Osenda right now. Would have to bulk up to play offensive tackle in the SEC. I agree with you that I think he and Shabazz probably prospect a little better as guards in this league. But like you say, Chase, it's fantastic just to stack guys at that position. It's a sneaky, not even sneaky. It's just it's not the sexiest position to recruit. You get the 5-star wide receivers, you get the number 1 quarterback in the nation, but no one really thinks about the offensive tackles and the guards. But that's where you win football games, especially in a conference as big as the SEC.
Yeah, I hope it helps our good buddy over there across the glass, Brett Hollander, who was really down in the dumps over the Savion Hyder.
I was.
Are you feeling better?
I guess I have to, right? I mean, there's no sense in being upset about that. I mean, it's me being upset doesn't change his mind, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get over it, but now that you brought it up, I'm sad again.
That was my bad. I didn't know we were. I didn't know we were still at the let's not talk about it stage of the report here.
But it does make me sad again though, because it just solidifies the fact you're not getting Darius Gray.
How are you turning this into a negative?
Because he's a South Carolina commit. He that's where Gray's going to go, right?
We don't know. I mean, it's still an LSU.
I feel like he's going to go to South Carolina.
He's a guard.
I don't know. I'm all about the rankings.
I mean, that's fine. He's a guard. He's strictly a guard.
Gray can come in next year and play. Blair probably is not going to see the field for 2 years.
You're already putting him on the shelf. Did you think Jesse Perry was going to be someone who didn't play?
He's a lot bigger. He's gotten a lot bigger.
I don't think anyone saw Jesse Perry coming.
Yeah, and Kamari Blair might be, Look at you, just pushing aside the in-state talent here. Like Tennessee, a big flip here with Kamari Blair, and you're
The only thing big about it is the size of him.
Yeah, and he's versatile. Another guy who can play tackle and guard. You know what I want more of? 4-star guys who can play tackle and guard. You know what I don't need? 5-star guys who can only be guards.
Okay.
Give me Kamari Blair over Darius Gray every day of the week. Same with JBC Ravs.
Okay.
No, those are the guys you need. You need to be able to go do both. Jesse Perry's valuable being able to be a tackle and a guard. You need to, I mean, you look at Shane Umarov, came in as a tackle, now moving as a guard. You need guys who can play a lot of different spots, especially with the number crunch we're in this new era of college football and the portal being what it is. I want as many guys on the offensive line that can play multiple positions in a crunch. If you're kind of banged up on the offensive line, that you have guys that you trust can play, that can slide out to guard, slide into guard rather, or slide out to tackle. It's going to be okay, Brett.
I'm fine.
Today's a good day.
Savion Harder has got me in a. I just hated losing out on that guy.
Why?
Because he's just gonna be incredible. I think he really is.
Goodness gracious. You know what's also going to be credible? Like Peyton Lewis probably for a full season. Enjoy Peyton Lewis being here. Highest rated recruit to this point at Tennessee. You've averaged 5 yards to carry all 4 years.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
There are areas to worry about on the Tennessee football team, Brett. And running back and 5-star running back is not one of them.
Okay.
We're okay. Today's a good day. Kamari Blair flipped. Like this offensive line, if you go through Tennessee's recruiting acumen, I guess the thing that kind of has my attention here, because you have one true guard. Edward Baker doesn't seem like a guy from St. Francis who's going to be able to be a tackle or a guard. He's probably your lone guy who can only be a guard in this class. But you have 2 4-stars and 1 5-star tackle. I mean, that's how you build in the trenches. That's great stuff. And then you also look, to me, the one big question I have with this class, Ethan, when I look at it, it's still edge, because they have 2 3-stars and Kedrick Golston II, whose dad played for Rodney at Georgia, NFL guy, played for Washington for many years, legacy kid. But CJ Edwards, another 3-star guy off the edge. They don't have a premier 4-star edge, blue chip edge. And Zach Groves kind of qualifies right now, but if you look at Zach Groves' frame and size, I have a hard time believing, Ethan, that he's going to be a Leo at this level. He's 6'4", 240 now. And that's without getting on the Tennessee workout regimen, the diet, and everything else. Like, that to me screams more strong side defensive end, which is a good thing. Like, you're going to lose some guys here over the next 2 cycles with Tyree West and Dominic Bailey, and you have guys you trust like Tyree Weathersby and Marion Dye and company. But yeah, you want, and then Jaden Lofton seems like he's going to be a strong side defensive end too, the 4-star from New Jersey this past cycle. But that's the one I'm still looking at. It's like, I love building in the trenches. This excites me. But the next one up for me, I know everyone's looking at Tristan Keys, but it's Hezekiah Harris and Tristan Gibbons. I need one of those guys to flip. I love this flip for Tennessee, for Kamari Blair. You can never have enough premium tackles. But for me, the next one, Ethan, is give me Tristan Gibbons and or Hezekiah Harris.
Yeah, having an elite pass rusher, obviously that's big. But like, when it comes down to it, I trust Rodney Garner. I don't really particularly like, and I know you're big into the recruiting angle of it. I don't particularly care who the guy is. If Rodney Garner likes him, I like him. That's kind of my thought process.
That's fair. That's fair. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Vols Tim here to preview our new high school football show on Friday night and outline what's on the docket for this big time week that starts this evening all across East Tennessee with some big games tonight. You got Oak Ridge and Halls on TV. So we'll preview all of that here in segment number 2 and hour number 1 right here on The Chase, 1 to 3, Monday through Friday, right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
Take Fan Run Radio with you on the all-new Fan Run app. Just search for Fan Run Radio wherever you download your apps.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up. That's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics. They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the volunteer state. Smoked daily by pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
Believe in family. Believe in your fellow man. Believe in honesty and an honest day's work. We do. We're Farm Bureau Insurance. And we don't just believe in Tennessee. We believe in Tennesseans. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee's insurance company.
This is Baseball VFL Cody Brown. Farm Bureau Insurance is the official insurance for Tennesseans. Believe in me for all of your insurance needs. Give me a call at 865-992-3871.
We make it easy to save money. Get access to thousands of discounts on shopping, dining, and travel with the C&B Plus Perks account. It's a powerful new way to save money with roadside assistance, cell phone protection, identity theft protection, and credit monitoring. Banking at C&B has its perks. Call or stop by a branch for more details.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
It's Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. In studio for the first time, Balls Tim 85 is here. Legend around SM Athletics and Fox Sports Knoxville, Fan Run Radio. Tim, good afternoon, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, Chase. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. This is going to be, I will tell you, a different segment than the greatest podcast of all time segment that
you listened to that?
I did listen to that, Tim. It's a great podcast. It was great stuff, but a little bit of a different vibe here on the Chase on this Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. Don't want to be talking about that kind of stuff on air, but I'm glad to be here. High school football season's here. One of the best times of the year for me, I think.
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be a lot of fun this season. And we have big games tonight. We got Oak Ridge and Halls. You're a Harriman Blue Devil here.
I am.
We'll talk Harriman here in just a second as well. But to get a preview of what's in store for high school football fans all across East Tennessee tuning in to Fan Run Radio and Fox Sports Knoxville on Friday nights, give us an overview on Fan Run Football Fridays, what's in store for fans, why they should lock in, pay attention, and join the show on Friday night with everything you're doing here.
So this will be the third year we've done it It'll be the third different room we have broadcasted from. So 2 years ago, we were at the old studio. It was a Saturday morning deal. Last year, we started doing it on Friday nights, more of a call-in reaction show, which will be the same as this year, 9:30 till about 11:30 or midnight, just however long it goes. But we'll start at 9:30, take calls the entire time, have people from games call in that we've got working, sideline reporters and stuff like that we know that work at different newspapers throughout the area. May have some coaches call in, probably more so after a win than a loss for them. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, to me, high school football is one of the best things around here when it's prime, other than Tennessee. But it's just such a fun thing to keep up with. So many people are so emotionally involved in it. Just great time. So Friday nights, call in 9:30 to 11:30. We have fun.
I'm excited. I'll be one of the folks jumping in here on Friday nights at different games. I've made a flip here, Tim. I'm going to Northview Academy versus Carter on Friday night.
So last year, I didn't go to any game.
Really?
So we've got the quad TV set up out here.
Yes.
So we'd have the Diamond Clear games and the NFHS network games. So we'd have 4 games going at a time, and we just sit out here and watch them. But I am going to break that streak this Friday and go to Harriman, Kingston at Kingston.
It's a big game.
We've got a first-year coach at Harriman, so I kind of want to be there. Probably have to leave at halftime to get back up here for the show. But I do want to just go see them in person. Saw them in a scrimmage about 2 or 3 weeks ago at Eagleton. Can't tell anything from scrimmage, but it's still fun to see them. So, yeah, I'll be there this Friday. Then after that, probably won't see too many games live. Just watch them on TV, which is another great thing that just has evolved with high school sports. You can watch high school basketball, high school football on the NFHS network.
Yep.
All the time. So,
and a lot of YouTube shows now too. You can watch on Rivalry Thursday and Friday.
So that's probably what I'll do tonight, because I was going to go to Oak Ridge, but the more I think about it, I don't like crowds.
There's going to be a big crowd for this game.
Yeah, so it's too easy to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah. And you're going to be, the guy who you'll be co-hosting with, Spencer, right here at SM Athletics too. I think he was talking about going, and I was like, Spencer, this is not one you just casually roll in. Just as a heads up, if you're going to go tonight, you want to get there early, because
especially at Oak Ridge.
Yeah, you're going to be parking way away.
Yeah, you're not going to roll up and get a spot at Big Ed's.
No, it's a great spot. Shout out to Big Ed's Elite Pizza here in East Tennessee. But yeah, you're not getting that spot unless you really, really get there. We're talking like 4 o'clock, 4:30.
And he's supposed to be working till 5, so he doesn't need to be leaving work early for that.
No. So that's seems like a recipe for disaster. And Halls is going to travel. Halls is going to be a really good team this year. And Oak Ridge, obviously high expectations for Coach Rang and company, but 2 big-time head coaches here. And this is going to be a Blankenship Field, great venue, great field. And they do the walk down the steps and everything.
They do.
It looks great. It's just a great history and pageantry is probably the best word to describe Oak Ridge football.
Oak Ridge is one of my big talking points for the season coming up, moving to 6A. Been in 5A forever. They move up to 6A, puts them into one of the 2 or 3 hardest regions in the state with Maryville, Bradley Central, Cleveland, which I expect them, Bradley Central, Cleveland, to be a little bit better than they were last year. But 2 years ago, that region was ridiculously hard with Bearden having what they had 2 years ago and even last year.
What's the game you're most curious about seeing the score and watching a little bit of over the next couple of days? What's the game that has your attention?
Maryville Alcoa.
Yeah.
Just because that's probably that is the biggest one, I feel like, for Friday night. Alcoa moving up to 4A, which I saw the preseason poll that USA Today puts out for each state, and Alcoa was number 1 in 4A, with Anderson County being number 2.
Yep.
Which is a week 11 or whatever week they want to call that, last week of the season matchup, which will probably be for the region championship for that Region 2 4A. But for tomorrow night, or for this week, Alcoa Maryville, and then Powell Anderson County.
Yeah, because Powell, Deuce Rogers is back for Powell. Powell has high expectations. They were a really good team. They were this close to knocking off state champion Sevier County in
Yes.
one of the best playoff games we've had here in East Tennessee in the last couple of years. And Matt Lowe obviously does a great job of that program, and Anderson County's just loaded up. A lot of Bearden kids coming in, but they have a freshman quarterback, the coach's son now. So how is that going to work?
So that was another one of my things to look into for the upcoming season, kind of like the Bearden debacle with all the kids leaving Bearden and so many of them going to Anderson County, and then Anderson County getting so many transfers just in general. But I think they had 10 or 11 from Bearden.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a pretty good matchup. It's just going to keep building all season until that Alcoa Anderson County matchup at the end of the year, which it should be for the region championship.
What's the coach you have right now who's most set up for success this season? When you look around high school football in this area, who are you most like, man, he's going to have a good year?
I mean, not to just be a basic answer, but I mean, Maryville and Alcoa is going to be there at the end of the year.
Yep.
I think. I mean, that's just, I feel like Meigs County had a good season last year with first year coach Stenbeck.
Yeah.
They might have went 10-0 in the regular season. If not, they won at least 8 or 9 games. I feel like they're going to have a really good season again. They didn't lose a lot. Sevier County lost nobody.
Yeah.
Winning a state title. Quarterback Cooper Newman still just a junior.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be one of the biggest quarterback prospects to come out of East Tennessee in a long time after he gets to his senior year. I feel like he's got a younger brother on the team too. I was reading about.
Does he?
He's a sophomore.
Okay. Is he a quarterback too, or
no? I think he's a receiver.
Interesting.
So
I mean, yeah, he's filthy. Like, I mean, Sevier County could do a three-peat with what they're coming back and how they're reloading this year. We had Jesse Smithy on yesterday, and he was like, it's just hard to pick against Sevier County this year. And when you have that kind of quarterback here in state, it's going to be hard to beat the Smoky Bears this fall.
And Catholic intrigues me.
Yeah.
With what they've got coming back and Tyreek King and wide receiver, second-year coach there with Shadowlands. Josh Jones from Bearden is their quarterback coach now. So they might have one of the best assistant coaching rosters that anybody in the area. So,
oh yeah, go for it, Brett.
Yeah, just the whole West thing, with the new coach, and I think he moved on to Maryville.
He's at Maryville.
So just the dynamic there with West. I know they opened Bearden on Saturday night. So what's your thoughts on the whole coaching change and maybe with Maryville getting with that guy that's moved up there?
Turns out, worked out very well for Maryville.
Yeah.
To get Lamar. I feel like that's just a nasty situation that happened over there. Especially, so much stuff come out after the fact, and it made the administration look bad. Just that they rushed to a judgment. And
did they have a lot of players leave once he left, or they kind of stacked them most of the roster?
I don't think they was so late.
Yeah,
where they really couldn't. I don't know if they could transfer that late, or if they just didn't make sense for the kids to.
Well, they also kept
leave.
the DC, so there's still a lot of continuity there. So you're not just doing like the Bearden thing where it's a completely different version. Yeah. So because JP Peace is still there, the Tennessee commit 3-star linebacker, grandson of Philip Fulmer. So West should be really good. We'll find out early on.
They're still. They were in the top 10 for this preseason poll.
Yeah.
For 5A, they were number 5, right above Halls.
And Halls is going to be really good.
Yeah. So, four of the top 6 were from East Tennessee: Sevier County, Powell, West, Halls. So 5A is loaded in Knoxville this year.
Who's the team in the barbershop you're telling folks you're looking at the polls and you think about the situation there, some of the players they've got that you're like, hey, I know they're not really on your radar right now, but I think this team is going to be a lot of fun. And if you have some time here on a Friday night in East Tennessee, I would go check them out because I think they're going to be a really fun, good team.
They're going to improve. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs just because of the region they're in, but Hardin Valley is going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Second-year coach Tyler Wynn.
Great dude.
They've got Carnes tomorrow night. Hardin Valley hasn't won a region game in, I think, 6 years. So, they're going to have to play Maryville, Bearden, Oak Ridge, Cleveland, and Bradley. But I think they're going to vastly improve in his second year. I think they're calling it year 1. They called last year for him year 0 just because they whole new system, whole new coaching staff. I really hope they, because I live in Hardin Valley right now, so they're the closest high school proximity to me. So if I end up go into some games on Friday night, it's there just because I can make it back here so fast. But that's the one that sticks out to me, is that they'll have some improvement. And he's just an awesome dude, so I kind of root for them.
Yeah, we're pro Tyler Wynn on this very program, and you're rooting for him. It's going to be interesting because I think I'll plan to be there. Unfortunately, Brett, for a game where they're playing Bearden. So
which game is that?
Hardin Valley hosts Bearden week 3 or week 4, something like that. So I'll be in attendance for that one and see Coach Wynn's team up close. But who's kind of interesting? Jeff Courtney, another friend of the program. He's obviously fallen in some big time footsteps in his father with the Admirals. But I do think what's interesting to them is they got crushed early on last year. And
then they hit the hot streak.
And then they hit the hot streak. And they even played Maryville, who was really good last year, should be really good again. They played them really close. I mean, 21-28. That was one of Maryville's closer games, and that ended their streak. But, I mean, they beat Oak Ridge. They beat Bradley Central. They beat Jefferson County. They beat Hardin Valley. They got hot at the end of the year. And I kind of wonder, opening against Sevier County, what that game looks like on Saturday, because it's going to be hard for them to pull off an upset like that over the Smoky Bears. But I do wonder what Farragut ultimately looks like. Is this something where that's sustainable and they build off that year, their second half surge, or where are they at? Because it was just completely different seasons in the first half and the second half of the season for Farragut.
Yeah, so that's the game that's at Carson Newman.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, there's not going to be a home field for Sevier County advantage-wise. So it's still going to be very difficult for Farragut to pull the upset just because Sevier County hasn't been beaten in 16 games. But that will be a confidence builder if they could just hang and compete. And it's not going to be a region loss, so it's not going to hurt them when it comes to playoff standings. I mean, who knows? I mean, neutral field, first game, you don't know exactly you can't tell what people have from these jamborees. So you never know what's going to happen.
We'll do a rapid fire here for these final 3, Tim. Number 1, the best uniforms here as a uniform guy, your favorite uniforms that you love seeing around East Tennessee this football season. Who is it?
I like when Austin East wears the baby blues.
Oh, those are clean. I like Austin East. That's a good pull. I like that one. I've always been I think Bearden's look good. I think the maroon. I think Farragut's always clean. The Cowboys look. I'm looking around. I kind of.
I like Jeff County has
Jeff County, the Pats logo.
Yeah, the Pats logo.
Sevier County is great. The purple is very clean.
Purple's nice. Oliver Springs, one of our rivals in high school.
Yeah,
the purple and gold with them always looks pretty good.
What color is your hairman?
Blue,
and white, royal and white. So nothing
faint.
I mean, yeah,
just
so it's just kind of basic. They'll break out some black uniforms every now and then. That's pretty nice, but nothing that just sticks out.
Okay.
Harriman, what's your prediction this season for your Harriman Blue Devils?
So Harriman made a good run in the playoffs last year. I think we went round 3, maybe round 2 or 3. Ended up getting beat by Coalfield, who hasn't lost a region game other than Oliver Springs in forever.
Great uniforms as well.
Yes. Harriman, they're going to make playoffs. That region is not. You have Oliver Springs and Coalfield in that region, both top 10 in the state in 1A in this week 1 poll. But Harriman can beat the other teams. I mean, just upset somebody, whether it be an Oliver Springs or a Kingston or a Coalfield, and just get some more momentum going because they're going to build with their new coach. Coach Graham used to be at Austin East and Oak Ridge. He's going to just get the culture a little bit better down there, I feel like.
And then final one, your upset pick of the weekend. Who do you have as your upset pick that we're going to revisit next week?
I mean, Kingston's going to be a favorite against Harriman. Harriman has beat them twice in the last 4 or 5 years. That would be an upset. So I kind of look for Harriman to compete with Kingston.
Okay.
And then if we're talking Knox County area, I do think Hardin Valley is going to beat Carnes. Not sure if you're going to consider that an upset.
Unless Sean Bishop's walking through that door.
Yeah. That's a tough.
Bearden over West.
Oh,
that
would be an upset.
That'd be an upset. I'm not.
It's at West, right?
Is it at West this year? I think that's right.
Yeah, I think we beat them there last year.
Yeah,
by like a
that
point or
sounds
something.
right.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I like that one.
So is Tyreek King like the best player like in this area? Like, is there anybody else you're kind of looking at that it's like a
Position player wise, he's the best, I would
Yeah.
say.
most exciting? I guess I don't know. Like
Brody Smith's not really exciting as a tackle, but he's a really good prospect. He could.
I mean, you mentioned the Tennessee guy, but he's like a linebacker, right? Or
JPPs,
yeah. So, but it seems like it's Tyreek King.
Tyreek
around
King,
here.
Shavar Young at Webb.
Shavar Young is
okay.
He's an athlete.
He's a Clemson commit.
Oh wow.
And we're not going to include Baylor because Baylor's got some dudes, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking Knoxville kind of area. Anybody?
Shavar and Tyreek to the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm throwing Cooper in there because I mean he plays. I mean they're going to play some East Tennessee teams.
He's going to be a bigger time prospect next year than I think they are this year. Once he gets to his senior year.
Absolutely. Well, got to hear on this. How did the good folks again remind them what they can look out for here on Friday nights as we do this each and every week here on from 9:30 to 11:30. Who's going to be involved with the show, how they can tune in, and then also how they get in touch with you for all of their custom apparel needs here at SM Athletics.
So every Friday night, starting tomorrow night, we run. Last year we went till the semifinals of the playoffs. 9:30, 11:30. Myself will be hosting. I'll have Spencer in here, who was on it last year. Bubba from the morning show with John and Cody, Talk Sports. Bubba will be in studio for it. We'll have a fourth man, Trevor, who was with us last year. 966-3434.
3435.
Okay.
Yes.
966-3435 is to call in. SM Athletics, if you want some apparel, t-shirts, gear, uniforms for anything like that, is 966-3434.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun year. Hopefully we know what we're talking about on Friday nights. If not, we'll make it look like we do.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to call in. I'm excited to work with you guys here on Friday nights all across East Tennessee and support all the local preps work all over the state. It's going to be a lot of good football to be played, and it's going to be a lot of fun on this very show from 9:30 to 11:30 every Friday night this high school football season. And make sure you call in. Join the program. It's going to be a lot of fun with Tim Spencer and company. 865-966-3435 is a way to jump in on Friday nights with the fellas. So, Tim, thank you so much, and we'll have you back in every Friday as we preview the week ahead.
Appreciate it. Look forward to it. Have some more stuff to talk about next week.
Absolutely. We're going to have actual games to react to.
That's right.
We're going to have games. So there you go. Balls, Tim. Thank you as always, my friend, and I'll talk to you next week.
See you, man.
Balls, Tim. There you go. Here on The Chase. When we come back, we'll continue on with Ethan's SEC 4 teams with boom or bust potential. We'll talk all about it here in the SEC. When we come back, it's The Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
You're listening to Fan Run Radio, the sports humans.
Friday Night Lights are back, and that means so is the SM Athletics Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Join me, Tim Hill, a.k.a. Vol Tim 85, and my crew every Friday night starting at 9:30 p.m. Live action, live calls, and all of the biggest talking points in East Tennessee high school football. It's the Friday Night Scoreboard Show presented by SM Athletics right here on Fan Run Radio, 1340 AM, the free Fan Run app, and streaming live on YouTube on Fan Run TV.
Hello, is Tina there?
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vince from the hit reality show Wives Don't Tell. Tina applied for our show to confess that her husband won't go to the doctor to get his erectile dysfunction checked. She said she's ready for a guy that can bring the heat.
All right, what the hell is going on? You know you're talking to her husband right now? Tina!
Well, she wrote the application that her man's performance is questionable. She's basically married to a coffee table. She also said, we live within driving distance to Men's Pro Knoxville, but he's too scared to get a blood test.
Oh my, she is done. She is so done.
Got you, Mike. It's Nephew Tommy. Ain't no reality show. It's a prank. Men's Pro Knoxville is the real deal, fellas. Local experts, test results in minutes. Call 865-544-8220 or hit menspronknoxville.com before your lady books a new co-star. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced, Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad, and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service, 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit MatlockTireService.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
Right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. Got to tell you, I'll never get tired of the Fast Five soundtrack popping in here on a Thursday afternoon. Get you fired up. Nothing gets you fired up like some Fast and Furious soundtrack music. Don't worry about it, when it comes to Ethan Stone over here. Real Too Fast, Too Furious fans will get that reference. An all-time line. One of my favorite actor lines of all time. Do y'all know what I'm talking about here, by the way?
Fast and Furious?
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Do you remember that line?
Yeah.
Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Walking out.
R.I.P.
He was great, man.
Oh, incredible.
And yeah, but great series. Iconic series. I can't get my wife to do the whole I was going to say trilogy, like there's 3. The whole series of movies. I mean, it's a big investment now to get to 10 plus movies and have like the whole sit down and be like, hey, honey, I need you to carve out the 30 hours over the next couple weeks so we can really lock in, and I want to get your full rundown of the Fast.
I thought they were toast when they brought out Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift is underrated.
Really?
Tokyo Drift's a great one. Yeah. Real ball knowers understand that
ball
Tokyo Drift is an underrated part of the movie. You have to watch it in order though, because Tokyo Drift came out at a weird time, and it's actually the 4th installment. Oh yeah. There's some great Fast and Furious lore that a lot of folks overlook. Are you a Fast and Furious guy, Alex?
I was about to say I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
Not one.
Not one.
Wow.
Not one.
That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Yikes. What about you, Ethan? I feel like that's a definite no for Ethan Stone.
I've only seen the first one.
Ooh.
That's it. I'm not a...
Brett, are we old? Is this like an older generation thing?
I don't know. I feel like I was hip watching it.
Yeah.
Especially as like 9 or 10 came out.
I mean, I feel like maybe part of it is like we've been so invested for so long because I saw Fast and Furious at a young age.
I mean, I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I go back and watch them very often.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy that I haven't seen them.
That's just unbelievable. Maybe we're just old and washed, Brett. Maybe that's just where we're at.
I don't like to think that.
I mean, they were coming out when I was growing up. I don't know.
Just didn't move the needle.
I was a Star Wars guy. I was that was my thing. I was like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So I just didn't really even watch anything else. And then now I got to the point where I'm watching other stuff. And I don't know, Fast and Furious just never made. I've watched the first one, like I said, but just, I don't know. Just
okay.
Star Wars will keep you busy. There's enough of those.
That's true.
It'll keep you busy. That's for sure.
That's true. Yeah. Well, now that we're back here, Ethan Stone back in studio of SaturdayOnSouth.com. Go check him out over there today, and all the good folks doing great work covering the SEC at SaturdayOnSouth.com. You wrote a column this week, Ethan Stone, 4 SEC teams with boom or bust potential. Who are you most confident in this when you did this top 4 teams? And we should say the 4 teams: Florida, number 1, number 2, I believe Oklahoma, number 3, Auburn, number 4, Tennessee, if I have it correctly there, I believe.
Yep.
Is that, how confident are you in that? Who do you kind of wonder, you're like, should I have left this team off when I was doing this in the boom or bust potential? Because I agree with 3 of the 4. One of the 4, I think you might figure out which one I don't necessarily potentially agree with.
There's a potential that I disagree with it as well. If it's the one you're talking.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. What do you mean by which one I agree with most? Do you mean, because I made a pick as well as like whether or not they would boom or bust? Do you mean which one am I most confident that I think will boom or bust,
Yes.
or which one am I most confident like in my ranking?
The former.
Okay. I'm most confident in Florida. I like Florida a lot. I really like Florida. I think DJ Lagway is really good. I think as long as he can stay healthy, the offensive line, the trenches, fantastic for the Gators. I think Trey Wilson going to be a fun receiver. I think they have weapons. It's like a different unit, but there's a lot of good. And I understand the schedule. I get the schedule concerns, but I still think this is going to be Napier's best year at Florida. I think Jaden Baugh is one of the more underrated running backs in the SEC. I think he's going to rush for well over 1,000. I mean, he has a fantastic offensive line in front of him, and he's by himself really talented. I think he accentuates DJ Lagway's strengths. I just think it's going to be a fun team to watch. At the very least, I think they're going to be in every game. I think there's a chance that 9-3 gets them and only them to the playoffs. I think if anybody else is 9-3, I don't think they have a chance. But
Oklahoma, I think 9-3, they should probably get in.
Maybe I kind of thought about Oklahoma too. That's another one. If they go 9-3, I could see it, but I don't know. Florida for sure. If Florida goes 9-3, and it would kind of depend, right, on just how everything shakes out when the season gets down to a close. But I like the Gators a lot, and obviously I said they were a boom, but at the same time, like if Lagway gets injured, you need a quarterback with all that, and his health concerns are very real. And then there's just like that schedule. I mean, what if they lose to Miami to start the year, and then they lose to LSU, and it just tumbles down from there? So like they definitely have boom or bust potential. That's why I put them number one. But I like the Gators a lot.
It comes down to if DJ's healthy. If DJ's healthy, I mean, he went 6-1 as a starter last year, and his one loss, he left the game with the lead against Georgia in the second quarter. So he was the most accurate quarterback, 20 yards down the field. He's got the best arm in the SEC. It's one of those deals where I don't want to be right about my 2025 SEC expectations because it gives me no pleasure to predict Florida and Alabama to be two juggernauts in the conference this year. Like, that's two teams on Tennessee's schedule, obviously two rivals. I don't want that to be how things play out this season, but I think if DJ's healthy, what's interesting, like a kind of under talked about nugget when it comes to Florida's boom or bust potential. If they had been able to keep Deshaun Party, the Charlotte transfer, who was one of 4 quarterbacks along with DJ Lagway to throw average, I think 9.1 yards per attempt last year through the air. He led all of FBS. It was like 10 yards per attempt. Like, DJ is launching balls down the field. There's a drop off, but it's the same play style. So you don't have to like change the offense completely if you don't have DJ Lagway, if he's banged up. If you were able to not lose Deshaun Party, who transferred to Florida and then flipped to Wake Forest, where I guess he's probably going to start. I don't know if they've announced that with Jake Dickert's team over there in Winston-Salem. He was battling Robbie Ashford, who I think has played for every college football team at this point in time. But I do think if you had him for at least 1 year and you're not having to go to Aiden Warner, the Yale transfer, that's a completely different player. Like, you saw him, he's mobile first. He came in for that Georgia game and he was just overwhelmed. It was just like, oh, this is not going to work. And obviously they lose to Texas without DJ, and he comes back and they're fine. I just think Party would have been such a perfect backup for them because you don't have to rush DJ Lagway. You have a guy who plays exactly like DJ, not as talented, but could be eventually as good. Like, that one to me is kind of an under talked about thing when you have DJ Lagway concerns. You had Party backing him up this year. I'm already pretty bullish on Florida being really good. That would kind of cement like the main concern with Florida is just that, like, yeah, I think Party would be able to do like 75% of what DJ does.
Yeah, I like that take. And something I failed to mention also is, I mean, their current guy is Harrison Bailey, and Tennessee fans know that all too well. That, all respect to Harrison Bailey, I'm not sure that's going to work out for the Gators if Lagway goes down.
It's going to beat us in the swamp.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the most Tennessee-Florida thing of all time.
Tennessee-Florida loss of my life.
Ooh, of your life?
If Harrison Bailey beats us, yes.
I don't know. Treon Harris is pretty tough.
I mean, there's some bad ones, but that'd be brutal to take.
I
wanted to ask you about Florida, though, real quick. Dallas Wilson's evidently still in a hard cast on his left leg. Like, how does that impact? I mean, especially with these early season games, the LSU's, the Miamis. I mean, how healthy will he be coming out of that? I mean, is there concerns there for y'all?
Yeah, that's not a bad point because I mean, there's Sturdivant out of UCLA, I believe, and Wilson and Dallas Wilson.
The other Wilson.
Yeah,
Deuce Wilson.
The other guy, the 5-star talent, like you say, but it's worth noting. I mean, you got Miami and LSU at the start, and it does not get any easier. The Gators get no breaks all season. Even at Kentucky is going to be genuinely tough for the Gators. I think they have LIU, South Florida, and those are the two to start the season.
Yeah.
So if Wilson can maybe recuperate a little bit by that point, then it might ease some concerns.
But I mean, Dallas isn't even going to start. Like, we should point out, like, Dallas
He wouldn't start if he was healthy.
No, it's going to be J. Michael Sturdivant,
Really?
Eugene Wilson, and then Aiden Mizell.
Yeah, Mizell. I forgot about Mizell. I think you're probably right.
Like, he's going to play.
But Dallas Wilson's their biggest deep threat guy, right?
I mean, for sure. I mean, J. Michael Sturdivant is a pretty good player.
Well, we had a Florida guy on under review, and he said that Dallas Wilson went for like 10 catches, almost 200 yards in their blue and whatever.
How much do you really take from the spring game?
Enough. I mean, 10 catches, 10 catches.
I do like Dallas Wilson.
Yeah.
I think he's
going
to
from
be
Oregon.
a good player as a freshman.
Yeah. I mean, I think
he has 1,000-yard potential more so than anybody on that team.
Well, it is interesting because the only 3 breakouts as true freshman wide receivers last year were all true freshmen, or were all 5-stars. And that was the only 3 5-stars in the class. Ryan Williams, Cam Coleman, and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
So Dallas Wilson, he could continue that trend. It wouldn't be the most surprising thing if he was a plug-and-play guy. But the bigger point there is they have more depth, that it's not a Dallas Wilson has to be ready to go early on or we're SOL.
No, that's true.
They also got a great offensive line. Like, with Slaughter
the
at center, Barber at left tackle, like, they got NFL dudes on the offensive line. Like, the trenches look more like scary Florida trenches, especially at the edge, at tackle, at center. Florida, if Billy Napier doesn't figure it out this year, man, I don't know when are you going to figure it out, man?
But again, like to Ethan's point, like they could have 4 or 5 losses.
Yeah.
But then be like losing by a field goal or 1 score.
There's definitely a scenario where the landslide just completely comes down. Like if they lose to Miami and LSU to start, and then I'm not going to say that Napier is going to lose the locker room because he didn't last year, which is very important for the Gators to finish 8-5 like they did and finish strong. And I trust that he'll be able to keep it together. It's just that schedule, man. It is brutal. It is next level brutal. And I could very easily see 5 losses for the Gators at the same time as seeing 10-2.
What about you, Alex?
In terms of a team that I think can boom
or bust of the 3 that we're talking about here.
Of the 3 that we're talking about, I'm going to stick with Florida. I think, Lagway, I agree with everything you guys have said. And I think in terms of Tennessee, that game down there in the Swamp's going to be unbelievably difficult to win that game. As if it hasn't been for the last 20 years.
Not even sneaky. Important game. And I mean, we haven't even mentioned Sapp and Banks on the other side of the ball. Like the Gators are loaded. They are loaded this season. As far as pure talent, they're one of the more talented teams in the country. It's just a matter of, can it gel? Can they fit it all together?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not optimistic about going to Gainesville in November.
No reason to.
No.
Except for the fact that last time you went down there in that time frame, you beat them.
True. We just have so much football to see. And circle back with me in a couple months, see where Aguilar's at, see where the passing game's at, see how healthy they are on the defensive line, see how healthy they are at corner. Is Dramad back and ready to go? Are the receivers healthy? Like, we have a ways to go. There's just so many scenarios that can influence how that game's going to go 3 months from now. That, man, I'm just trying to focus on like getting through Syracuse and seeing what we look like there.
I just go back to like we've had so many guests from different teams on our, and you can't help but look at the schedule and like how much you're so lucky like as a Tennessee fan, because if we're playing the schedule, I mean, we're having the same conversation. We're a 6-6 team. Like if you're Tennessee, so you're just so lucky that you're not having to deal with this gauntlet that Florida, that Oklahoma, that Mississippi State, that all these teams are having to get. And now you might have it next year. Who knows? But for this year alone, you're very fortunate.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I was kind of surprised that Ethan threw.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to.
Tennessee on there, because I don't think there's bust potential really. I don't think there's also. I should clarify. I don't think there's boom potential either in 2025, but I don't think there's bust potential. I think it's just they have a very safe floor, right? Like I think they have a
middle word between boom and bust.
That's true.
I
sizzle.
Will,
there's some sizzle potential.
Mid.
Yeah.
I will admit, when I put it on there, the very first, you guys can go read it. Saturday Down South, go read it. The very first line of my thing is I debated even putting Tennessee on here. And the reason I did put Tennessee on there is because it wasn't just a boom or bust article. It was, and I'm going to admit, I didn't do the best job of explaining this. It was a unpredictable article. What is this team going to be this season? And I mean, Tennessee, I have no idea. I could see take away the schedule. Imagine Tennessee's playing a tougher schedule. If Tennessee played, say, LSU and they played Mizzou and they played kind of Texas A&M and teams that are like kind of close to where we think the Vols are going to be this season, then how would they fare? Like how good of a team really truly is Tennessee going to be? And I have no idea. I genuinely, I could not tell you. And the other team I was kind of thinking of putting on there was South Carolina. I think that probably at the end of the day would have been a slightly better pick, because I also said this in that article. It's like, at the end of the day, I think this is a 9-3 team. I have thought this is a 9-3 team pretty much since Tennessee got Aguilar. But at the same time, like, I think I disagree with you. I think there's definitely bust potential with this team. I mean, if Aguilar is not good, like really bad, and Merck is not good, really bad, I don't think that's going to happen. But if that happens, I don't really care what the schedule looks like. I think they could lose to Arkansas. I think they could lose at Kentucky. I don't think that's crazy at all. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
Mississippi State.
I don't. Again, I've said it 3 times now. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. 100%.
Kentucky, the day Heupel loses to Stoops, I
Saturday Down South columnist Connor O'Gara has us losing to Kentucky
this year.
Yes, I think I don't agree with him, but he does.
Isn't it just terrible to think though? Like, is it a good season if you go 9-3 but you lose all your rivals?
Yes.
You miss the playoff.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be better than Florida in year 5 of Heupel? Considering Napier last year was on the hot seat, you've beaten Alabama 2 last 3 years. They don't have Saban anymore. Should you not be at least a 7-point dog, not a 13, 14-point dog to Alabama right now? Like, I just feel like it's not a winning season if you go 9-3 because you just beat bad football teams.
Well, not all bad. We got to get you out of the dumps here today, Brad. You're just like
how am I just supposed to judge a football team when you don't beat the best teams on your schedule?
I mean, you're beating some good teams though in that scenario.
We're saying we're going to run the ball and play good defense,
right?
But we're also going to beat bad football teams. We're going to have 2 teams on the schedule with 0 wins.
It's August 21st, Brett.
We play in 9 days.
Maybe it's just the rain outside. I think we're getting more rain this afternoon. No Seattle for Brett, man. Like Seattle and Brett talking Tennessee football.
You get a whole season of me. Just
I'm going to work on this because this is just.
I know I'm the one over here saying I told you so.
Told me so.
Yeah.
Good night. I'm seeing a different side of Brett, man. Alex, you got to do some work on the other side of the glass here.
I mean, I think I agree with you guys. I think Tennessee, if they go 9-3, I mean,
it's a great year.
It's a great year. I don't know.
Losing to your rival? No, I cannot handle losing to Florida, Alabama, and Georgia a year in because they're going to get better too.
You've beaten Florida and Bama 2 of the last 4 years.
Then why are you underdogs?
Because you're on the road and winning on the road in the SEC is hard.
But you're 10+ against Alabama.
Bama's going to win the national title this year, according to somebody on this very show.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what to tell you, Brett. But
Only the smartest man on this show.
All right.
I just think as somebody who didn't grow up here, like
he doesn't understand. Don't bring him in.
No. It's just the whole rivalry thing. Like if you go 9-3, and I understand you're gonna. I mean, you would lose to probably Bama, Florida, and Georgia in that case. Yeah. Like I don't know. I think it's considered a success from a guy who didn't grow up a Tennessee fan and who's an outsider to this.
So to put a bow on it before we get a break, I mean, would you be happier going 9-3 with a victory over Georgia and a loss to like Mississippi State and Oklahoma?
I think I would.
That's wild, man.
Yeah,
Oklahoma especially. Maybe not Mississippi State, but if you beat Oklahoma, but you tell me you beat Georgia at home, I think I can.
You mean you lose to Oklahoma at home, but you beat Georgia?
Yes.
That is a better 9-3 for you.
I think so.
Like for example, if Tennessee beat Georgia and loses to Kentucky, what do you think then?
I'd actually be more ticked off because then there should be a playoff team, and then you just throw it because that's like an Ole Miss Kentucky situation last year where if you just take care, like Ole Miss beat Georgia and beat down Georgia in their home stadium, and it was like, oh, that was because I will maintain Ole Miss was the best team, the best version of themselves last year was the best team in the SEC a year ago, and they're going to kick themselves forever because they wasted a fantastic opportunity with how many NFL guys they had with Walter Nolan, Jackson Dart, and everything else. The best version of Ole Miss was the best team in the SEC, but they pissed it away against Kentucky at home.
And the committee's going to put us in because they're going to say we have a quality loss, which I think is annoying. You lose, you can't be getting perched up. Like
if you get left out of the CFP the same year that you beat Georgia at home and into that streak, and you drop a Kentucky or Oklahoma game, I'm way more annoyed.
We lose our 3 rivals, though. We shouldn't get in.
But I mean, there's no upsets, and there's something. Man, it's been a long time since you go into a season and be like, hey, guess what? Heupel won every game he was supposed to again. and you live to fight
And he
another day.
lost the ones that he can't win. In his 30 wins the last 3 years, how many have been top notch? I can count like 3.
What do you mean? A whole heck of a lot.
I won't get into it now. We got to go to break.
Brett is just this is
Tennessee didn't beat Alabama for 15 years.
Bama twice.
You're spiraling. You were,
but that's it. And 30 wins.
You had
LSU on the road. What else?
I mean, you had the. I can't do this right now. I can't do this, Brett. We'll come back after this. Stick with us. It's the Chase. Hour number 2 kicking off here in just a second. Stick with us. It's the Chase. Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess. But isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics. Hey Knoxville, Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Are you looking for a treat that will knock it out of the park at the next watch party? Just like your favorite baseball team, Crumble brings the best lineup week to week with an expanded roster that includes key lime pie, strawberry cake, or my personal favorite, Monster featuring M&M candies. Let Crumble treat you to the best cookies in the game. Download the Crumble app and start earning rewards. You can even vote monthly on what flavors you would like to see at any store of your choice. Warmer weather is here, so get to the ballpark, but don't miss the cookies.
It's a Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. I hope Good Feeling by 311 perked up Brett Hollander, producer extraordinaire across the glass, because every listener knows right now the man needs some good feelings about this Tennessee football season going in this year.
I do.
Because it's going to be really hard. You're wearing the college football playoff hoodie for Tennessee.
I feel like I need to wear it for the last time before the season starts.
Good luck, Alex. You still got another hour on that side of the glass.
Chase is about to fire me as producer.
I mean, no, we're not going that. I'm trying to help. Like, we gotta. Things are good. It's 0-0 right now in the record books. Okay. Things are fine. Things are really good, actually. And you know where they're also really good, Brett? Tennessee basketball, where Clarence Masamba and Nate Ament met the media this week for the first time this season. Clarence Masamba arriving on Rocky Top this week, and one of the things he said actually two things that I thought were pretty interesting, and we'll also dive into what Nate said about a certain teammate that I was pretty fascinated by. But Clarence said on the difference between playing in American basketball versus overseas, he said, quote, definitely the pace, I'd say. High school basketball is we played more off instinct, I'd say. It's not really organized like European basketball is. That's really the big difference, I think. That's what college basketball is trying to be like now. So that is something that I think is super interesting in terms of how raw and how long it takes for Clarence Masamba to get up to speed, being a late enrollee here this summer. I mean, Ethan Berg is still not here and has not arrived on campus yet. So he's someone who's going to factor into the two guard mix. But you imagine Clarence Masamba should be somewhere in that 2 to 3 range. Super long, a guy that I'm very much excited about to see what he ultimately is. He comes in from AS Monaco and like 6'5", long. He's the kind of guy that I could just really see thriving in this Tennessee scheme and with what Rick Barnes really wants. So like Rick Barnes wants length, like 1 through 5. If he can find it, like that is Rick Barnes' deal. Especially it just helps, you know, obviously on the basketball front. But I thought that was interesting and where he'll ultimately be there because he's just a huge wild card in terms of whether or not he's going to be in the rotation this year. I think he's still someone who projects to be a multi-year guy, and maybe he gets his feet wet a little bit this year and carves out a bigger role going into next year. But I do think he's super interesting. And the other thing I thought, Ethan, that I want to get your perspective on is when he was asked who he is as a player, quote, I think I'm a pretty good player overall. I can play both ends of the court, able to shoot it and play at a good speed. I think that's what coach is expecting from me the most, being able to put speed on the court in transition, especially. So I think it's hard not to be pretty excited. What do you make of those quotes from Clarence?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit on it a little bit. My views anyway on Masamba, which is just, I think he's the ultimate wild card on this team. I mean, I can see a path where he's really good. He's a great shooter. That's something that jumped out to me on tape. But to be totally honest with you, there's just not a lot of tape to go off. And I think it's interesting that he mentioned the pace specifically, because obviously coming from the Euro leagues, and this is, I feel like, becoming more of a thing recently, because like Arkansas, they've got a guy, Auburn's got a guy, Ole Miss has got a guy from overseas, Tennessee's got 2 of them, with Eitan Berg obviously on board as well. So I just wonder how will that translate? I think that's the biggest question for me. Is he obviously said, you know, I think there's going to be an advantage translating from the Euro to college basketball compared to high school to college basketball, because high school is a completely different game. I mean, like Clarence said, it's more of like an instinct thing, and you know, obviously there's coaching, but it's a lot of just kind of I'm gonna go around and now I'm gonna shoot the ball, and there's not too much frame to it, I guess, for lack of a better word. But Masamba, his shooting is something that really stands out to me, and his speed, which he mentioned as well. I do think that will be a weapon for Tennessee in transition. It just, to me, it's just how is he going to gel, especially showing up slightly late, and Eitan Berg isn't even here yet. So how are both of those guys going to gel into the system? How are they going to just accept what their role is going to be? Because another thing to mention is there's just so much talent on this team. You wonder if Masamba will get kind of buried in the rotation a little bit this year if he isn't just the superstar guy that his ceiling is right now. And if he isn't, I agree with you. I think he's going to be kind of a couple year dude that he has too much talent for me to believe that he's just going to be the 4th guy off the bench and not play at all during his career at Tennessee. I'm not 100% convinced that it's going to be this season myself. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think he's kind of a bit of a project guy.
Yeah, and I want to hear the first reports about him. You know, like how is he running with the 2s and 3s? How is he acclimating next to some of the other guys, whether that's Troy Henderson, Amari Evans? How do they look? Because Amari Evans, we assume, is going to be in the rotation at the 2-3. He's a top 50 recruit from this class, the first recruit in this 2025 cycle for Barnes, and kind of the forgotten guy, I feel like, at Overtime Elite, and he played big time competition. And it's kind of interesting to see like how prepared Masamba is ultimately going to be a plug and play guy. But I just think there's going to be so much competition, Ethan, at the 2 that I'm just really excited to see it play out, because they're all getting here also at different times, where you have Amari Abram, the veteran guy, who he comes in as a transfer, a lot of experience. And then you have Bishop Boswell back for year 2. He's kind of like one of those leaders, and clearly somebody that Rick Barnes really likes as a long-term guy for Tennessee. But is he more of the backup point guard because you're not ready to throw Troy Henderson to into that spot. Can Bishop handle 10 minutes a night of spelling Jacoby Gillespie? That's something to keep an eye on. I just kind of wonder because Berg, like you said, he's not on campus yet. We'll see how long it takes for him to get here. But then you look at just all the different combinations. Barnes is just going to get like a steady diet of like new two guards who can compete for realistic big minutes for Tennessee. It's a good problem to have, but I have no idea where this is going to go. But Masamba is just the latest where you're like, I'm excited to see what the reporting is on him because he certainly looks the part. It's just how long is it going to take for him to get acclimated?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. As far as just pure combinations that Barnes could throw out there, I mean, goodness, man, we're talking tens of combinations that, I mean, because Amin is another guy that he can kind of, I could see him playing a 2 or a 3 role. I could see Troy Henderson with how great of a shooter he is, or at the very least, the rumblings out of practice, how good of a shooter he is. I could see him playing kind of alongside Gillespie, like, kind of like Kennedy and Zakai did in what was that, 2021, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously there might be a bit of a size problem with that, so I wouldn't expect it too much. I'd probably expect Henderson to be the backup point guard. But Eitan Berg, I think he played at a slightly higher level than what Masamba was. And then, like we just talked about, what if Masamba hits his ceiling? What if he's really good? What if Bishop Boswell out of nowhere is the guy that takes a step? I mean, there are so many different combinations, and that's not even talking about the front court with the step that Cade Phillips has apparently taken and shooting. Like, can he be a 3? That's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, we're 60-ish days away from Tennessee basketball, folks. So obviously all that will come in time, but very interesting to look at from the outside in.
Well, you mentioned Henderson and what Nate Ament said about Troy, who a lot of folks may not realize here in East Tennessee that he played travel ball with Henderson. So there's already some familiarity there between Troy and Nate. Here's what Nate said about his former teammate, now current teammate, Troy Henderson. Quote, "He makes a lot of good reads. He's a great point guard. When I played with him during travel ball, he got me to my spots, and he just allowed me to play as a point guard. You love having someone that knows how to pass the ball. He's a tough defender, picks up 94 feet, strong guard that has great leadership skills." That sounds like a Rick Barnes guy. Defends 94 feet as a point guard, strong leadership skills. I think that's one of those lineups where Nate's going to play a bunch either way, but you need to have, because of their familiarity with one another, you need to have Troy and Nate on the court at a lot of times. So if you're going to throw Troy out there to try stuff, throw him out there with someone he's played basketball with at the high school level. Granted, it's still high school travel ball, but I think there is some comfort of letting Troy ease into being a contributor for Tennessee. But those quotes, when you read about Troy, you're like, that sounds like a long-term Barnes answer at point guard.
Yeah, I haven't seen Troy Henderson play outside of, the high school tape. And obviously with the man, I thought that was a good pickup at the time just because of that, the familiarity, like you say. But the more and more I learn about this guy, like, it gets harder and harder not to say, man, that sounds very familiar to Zakai Ziegler. Like, very, very familiar. If he's half the production that Zakai gave Tennessee, it's a win. If he's a quarter of the production that Zakai gave Tennessee, it's a win. But I'm getting more and more excited about what he could bring specifically to this year's team and moving forward, because, like, it's obviously a guy that Barnes loves, all the intangibles that Barnes loves. Pick up 94 feet, tough defender, and like I said earlier, a great shooter at the very least in the high school level. So if that can translate and he can establish that, get to the court and have that familiarity with Ament, and you have that 1-2 punch between Gillespie and then Henderson that knows how Ament plays, who is the most dynamic player on the team. I mean, it could be really, really fun.
When we come back, go ahead, Brett.
Well, I was just going to say, like, they all can't play, right? Like,
I mean, they can, just not a lot.
Well, I'm just wondering who's a possible redshirt in this.
Well, you don't really have to worry about redshirts anymore.
Why is
Because
that?
the redshirt's probably going away.
I mean, like Dwayne Brown. Like, I think he's got a high potential as a big,
Yeah.
but he's not going to see the floor.
I mean, you're one injury away from him playing.
This is a good point, though, because I thought this as well. Like, I was really high on Amari Evans. I'm starting to think if there's going to be a red shirt, he's probably the candidate. From what I've heard, like, where would he fit on the court?
There's so many guys.
And there's just Tennessee has like 12 or 13 guys that could not start, but could play legitimate minutes for any team in the conference. And that's a good problem to have.
The problem with that is, like, Amari might be your best perimeter defender, right away.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if Barnes is going to be able to keep him
I think they
off.
all can defend. That's the one thing about these two guards.
Yeah.
It's the scoring side. Like, I don't have a problem with any of those two guards from Amari Abram, Boswell. I know they're going to do a job. defensively. They have to. Barnes isn't going to play him otherwise. I don't think they're going to be counted on as much offense this year because I think you're going to get offense from the bigs and Jacoby, Ament. I don't think your two guard is going to be as needed offensively as you might think.
They just got to hit open shots because they're going to get
be
great
aggressive
looks.
on the defensive end. Get 2-3 fouls. Who cares? Next guy in. Pick up 94 feet, each one of them.
Yeah.
Save Gillespie's legs. Let him guard the best player on the other team.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it happening.
I don't hate that line of thinking.
We agree on something? Did we become best
How about
friends?
this? Ooh, doesn't happen much, folks.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Ethan's gonna stop coming in on Thursdays.
I'm not needed here.
Yeah, goodness gracious. But yes, Brett, we do agree there. So there you go. When we come back, we'll talk to old friend Logan Booker from 960 The Ref down there in Athens to get the inside scoop on the Georgia Bulldogs ahead of their opener against Marshall next weekend, and a team that will be here in Knoxville, Tennessee in week 3. So we'll talk to Logan and get his perspective also on the Tennessee Vols going into 2025. So stick with us. It's a Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
Yo, 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 what is up with it, homies? Talk sports. That's the show you want. It's the longest running sports radio morning show in town. You want your radio shows to be fun, and that's what Talk Sports is. Fun, fun, fun. No weirdo callers. I think Tennessee gonna go 6-6 this year. No nerdy guests. Well, their receiver depth is a little bit thin. Just two of the most entertaining guys in town, and Bubba giving you what you need. Tune in 7 to 10 a.m. every weekday here on Fan Run Radio.
Hello, is Tina there?
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vince from the hit reality show Wives Don't Tell. Tina applied for our show to confess that her husband won't go to the doctor to get his erectile dysfunction checked. She said she's ready for a guy that can bring the heat.
All right, what the hell is going on? You know you're talking to her husband right now? Tina!
Well, she wrote the application that her man's performance is questionable. She's basically married to a coffee table. She also said, we live within driving distance to Men's Pro Knoxville, but he's too scared to get a blood test.
Oh my, she is done. She is so done.
Gotcha, Mike. It's nephew Tommy. Ain't no reality show. It's a prank. Men's Pro Knoxville is the real deal, fellas. Local experts, test results in minutes. Call 865-544-8220 or hit men'sproKnoxville.com before your lady books a new co-star. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
It's Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. On the line right now, old friend from 960 The Ref, Logan Booker. How are you doing, my friend?
Chase, good to hear your voice, man. What a great time of year we're finding ourselves in, and hope you guys are doing well up there.
We are doing pretty great. Does it feel like fall in Athens, Georgia? You've got a great setup for the long-term Logan Booker IG follower, OGs. We know about your house and the shed work that you're doing. You've got a great setup, man.
Yeah, right there staring out over Lake Clark Hill in Lincoln County, the very east side of Georgia, man. But, yeah, it's still pretty hot now, but I don't know how much you guys are locked into forecast. We're going to get fake fall next week just in time for football, and I cannot wait, man. I'm, like, giddy excited about it.
It's going to be great, but we can't even take advantage of it here in Tennessee because we're playing in a dome. We're playing at Mercedes-Benz that Saturday. So we're not even going to get a nice little fall Saturday inside Neyland Stadium. But maybe it maintains for ETSU the following week, but we shall see.
That's a good point. Good point.
Well,
but yeah, man, we're coming up on it, man. I think the latest I saw for Athens is like 79 and sunny for that August 30th. I mean, it's against Marshall, so it should be kind of a nonchalant day anyway. But we're all excited about just getting fall here as quickly as possible.
Well, it's going to be here before you know it. You got Marshall on the docket, fall camp, scrimmages, all that kind of wrapped up here. There seems to be a lot of buzz with the receivers, Noah Thomas, Zachariah Branch, Colby Young back for his 19th year of college football, Logan Booker, but a lot of buzz with the receivers after leading the country in drops last year. So Georgia went out. They brought in 5-star true freshman Tywin Taylor. They have Blackshear from, I believe, the South Georgia area. He was a big addition. You still have London Humphreys back, the Vanderbilt transfer. So you got a lot of options. Kobe White seems like an option in the slot too to get some opportunity there. But how confident are you that Georgia's fixed the wide receiver issue that plagued them last year?
The biggest thing was the drops passes last year. Like it's really, really difficult to go an entire season and have 38 dropped passes. And that's a real number. It was insane. It was an epidemic. The coaches had no answer for it. I mean, you can say, hey, we practice all we can, but for some reason those balls just kept getting dropped. And that led to an even bigger narrative, one around Carson Beck, around offensive coordinator Mike Bobo. But, man, if you take those drops and cut them in half, say you only drop 20 as opposed to 38, that changes a ton. So Noah Thomas had a really good year for Texas A&M last year. You mentioned Zachariah Branch, who was a 5-star recruit, transferred from Southern Cal. Dylan Bell, he's another really good receiver on the roster that just had a case of the drops last year. But, yeah, only time will tell. But you would like to think that there's no way this group is going to repeat what they did last year. I mean, a lot of the guys like Arian Smith, he's moved on to the NFL, and others that are no longer here. But it'll go a long way just cutting that in half. Every team's going to have some drops for sure, but 38 is just a number I still am having trouble wrapping my head around. And somehow Georgia still wound up with 11 wins last year. So, yeah, that'll be a major talking point early in the season to see if that can be fixed. But I do like the talent there, so hopefully Gunnar Stockton has some options there when football comes around.
Is the offensive line going to be fine this year? I've seen some Juan Gaston buzz. Maybe he's starting at guard as a true freshman, like just a behemoth from Westlake and big time blue chip prospect. But I mean, that was kind of one of the weird parts about Georgia last year. And part of the reason that they weren't able to run the ball as traditionally they would. Like it was just weird to see Georgia struggle in that department where we just have not seen that in the Kirby Smart era for close to a decade now. Do you think they have solved that potentially a little bit this year with the guys that they're going to be starting, or do you still have some question marks as to how this offensive line is going to work out?
Certainly optimistic. Everybody's healthy right now, it appears. Ernest Green is a monster right tackle, and he was injured a lot of last year as well. When he's playing well, he is projected to be potentially a first-round pick if he's fully healthy and has a good year. Monroe Freeling, though, the rising junior, he's the one that was just really getting beat off the ball by Notre Dame in that Sugar Bowl, and unfortunately did not make that easy for Gunnar Stockton at all. I think Gunnar played as well as you probably could have expected him to against Notre Dame, but he was just running for his life or getting sacked multiple times in that game. But it's definitely a curiosity. Drew Bobo, the son of Mike Bobo, the starting center this year, he was filling in duty late last year also, with little experience. So, yeah, that's another one of those points that the guys like Juan Gaston that you mentioned could potentially be one of those young Bulldogs that makes immediate impact. But without, obviously this is true for anybody, not just Georgia. If you don't get elite offensive line play, it affects a lot of things around you. Also, last year, about 800 yards less on the ground than 2023 is pretty staggering as well. Trevor Etienne was a decent running back when he was healthy. He missed several games, not only for being hurt last year, he got himself suspended for that Clemson game prior to the season. So it was a little bit of a disappointment, even though we had good moments last year. Trevor Etienne was really absent a lot of the time. And then also Roderick Robinson, another really good, just big body back. He never got back last year after dealing with a turf toe pretty much all last season. He's supposedly healthy now, and a couple other young guys as well. And Nate Frazier, who's a really good running back, he had a case of the fumbles last year. A lot of freshmen do. I was actually talking on my show this morning that Nick Chubb and Sony Michel back in 2014, they fumbled the ball quite a bit. Actually cost Georgia a game against Georgia Tech, believe it or not. But it's expected of freshmen. Hopefully Nate Frazier, for Georgia fans, can kind of fix that issue. And I think if health provides itself, I think Georgia's immediately way deeper game one than they ever were last year due to a lot of factors. But, it goes without saying, a very common saying in football, if you got to play good on the offensive line and be stout. Otherwise, some issues are going to come up on offense.
You know what's interesting is Georgia fans, and you could speak to this, is like they've been dying for a home schedule like this for a long time, right? Like this is, you've been dying for it. Kirby's over here talking about the Mississippi State home crowd for that one in the second half and everything. And I mean, it's all added up to 2025, right? For Georgia fans, it's like, hey, there's no excuse not to pack it the house, not to be super loud, not to be amped up for this home slate. But at the same time, part of me is like, be kind of careful what you wish for in some ways, because you've got Alabama coming to town, you've got Ole Miss coming to town, you've got Texas coming to town. I mean, when you look at this home schedule, does it feel like Georgia, who has the longest home winning streak in the country, is going to be able to get through this season with that home win streak still intact?
Yeah, if that streak is still intact come Christmas, like, it's been a heck of a year for Georgia. I mean, it's I don't think anybody in today's world is expecting to go undefeated anymore. There's just too much parity with NIL and everything out there. But you're right, man. Alabama, September 27th. So my wife and I, we've been season ticket holders for a long time. We are even debating, do we go to the game or do we pay for a lavish vacation with those tickets? Obviously, we're going to go to the game, but the prices are just insane on the secondary market. You're talking like between $600 and $1,000 average if you want to go to that game in Athens, September 27th. And a little caveat that if you're not entrenched in the Georgia, world, you may not know this. I'm sure you do, Chase, but this is the very first time Alabama will play in Athens since Kirby Smart has been the head coach of Georgia. That's all the way back to 2016. They were here in 15, Mark Ricks last year. We all know Georgia's his struggles against Alabama, except in that national championship game up in Indianapolis, which brought a lot of us a lot of joy. But it has been a real grind playing Alabama at their place in Atlanta. And look, spare me any of that home field advantage talk for Georgia over at the Mercedes-Benz or the Georgia Dome. That has never been an easy place for Georgia to play for whatever reason. But, I mean, Bama fans bring the heat whenever they come there. But yeah, it'll be nice to get Alabama in Athens between the hedges. But to your point, man, that's just the beginning. We got Ole Miss coming in. That Texas game, November 15th. Let's just say in a hypothetical, which is very possible, let's say that's a top 5 matchup. The ticket prices we're talking for Georgia, Alabama, you can probably double that for a November game against Texas here. But they're going to be tough to win, as to your point as well. We got to go all the way back to 2 overtimes in 2019 against South Carolina, the last time we lost in Athens. But to answer your question kind of bluntly, I do not expect Georgia to be undefeated at home this year. And if they do, then we'll certainly be making big plans come January, wherever the team's going.
I tend to agree. I mean, when you look with this game against Tennessee here in week 3, Logan, obviously the streak is long here. It had a different feel had Nico not departed. I think the all eyeballs will be on this game if Nico is still here. Things are different now, but I still think it's just interesting because Tennessee has not scored in the second half against Georgia the last 2 games here, but I do think they pushed Georgia more last year than they have in the previous 4 meetings in a lot of ways, particularly defensively, because the first half was just kind of like Curry kind of figured some stuff out in the second half in 2021, and that game got out of hand. But Tennessee definitely did catch them by surprise that first series, and Velus Jones, that touchdown, Tennessee goes up 7-0 early, that kind of thing, and just was like, all right, this is a different type of deal. But last year, I mean, Georgia could have been down 14-0 to Tennessee early, where Boo Carter was free on that punt return, and it ended up being 10-0. But if Brett Thorson doesn't make that big time tackle as a punter
Yeah.
for Georgia. I think it's 14-0 Tennessee. And I'm not saying Tennessee wins, but I am curious how Georgia
No, it
responds.
changes things.
It does, especially with Carson Beck and being just how volatile that whole situation was in the middle part of last year. It's kind of a what if that I think will kind of be lost in the Tennessee Georgia lore over the last couple of years. But this year in particular, year 5, when you think about this game being flipped to the early part of the schedule, Logan, does that give you more pause because of how much new you're going to have at wide receiver, at quarterback, on the defensive line, and in different spots? Are you more, I don't want to say worried, but more curious how this game's going to go, Nico or no Nico?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the Nico change. A lot of respect for Iamaleava. I mean, he was a good quarterback. I know it's probably a bad word to say with your fan base. I'm not really sure how you guys are gauging that whole thing, but I do say I don't think Aguilar strikes as much fear into any opposing fan base yet, but we've yet to see him. I mean, how many of us really studied App State games? Of course, we can go find highlights and all those stuff now, but I want to see what he does against Syracuse early on. I mean, that'll be the first and only real test for Tennessee before we get there. I think it's good that Georgia has Marshall and Austin Peay before the Tennessee game. Usually, and nine times out of 10, I would say these games kind of bore me these days. I'm not a big fan of, I call them cash for clunker games. I don't love paying some team to come in and take a beating at your place. But it's part of football. I understand why it happens. I just don't love it. But if there was ever a year for Georgia that could use a couple of those games, Marshall and Austin Peay is exactly what kind of the doctor ordered at this point to get some things shored up. And certainly behind the scenes, the film room and all that stuff, they'll be going crazy. But yeah, it's very curious to go to Tennessee. I've made that trip probably a dozen times in my life. I always enjoy it, but I always am in awe, too, about the atmosphere that can be created in Neyland Stadium. Kirby Smart, to your kind of point, also has kind of cracked a code to not let that bother him so much. In 23, what was it, the 75-yard touchdown, the first play of the game, that place lost its mind. And the attitude on the sideline of Georgia was, okay, now let's just go out there and do our thing. And Georgia had a really good day after that, wound up winning by a whole lot of points. But something about Neyland, Kirby doesn't really seem fazed by it. I mean, he any coach should be. Like I said, I've seen it many times. It's impressive, but he certainly has that attitude about him. But yeah, as far as, no Nico and Tennessee just being what it is and Heupel having the offensive power, it can definitely catch anybody off guard. And we are curious about a lot of players on this team. I will say, though, switching over to a little defense talk, I think Georgia has the potential to be very, very elite on the defensive side of the ball this year. There are some linemen that need to prove that before I can really make that declaration. Some guys like Jordan Hall and Christian Miller, who were a little bit underwhelming and injured last year. If those guys can be healthy, I think the linebackers at Georgia are as good as we've seen in many years, and potentially the secondary is as good as we've seen since 2021. I mean, it could be very, very stout. So it's going to be hard to score on Georgia, but when you're on the road, Kirby will be the first one to tell you there is nothing easy about winning on the road in the SEC. But yeah, I am very curious how this game's going to go. I think one thing that Tennessee may have to its advantage is that the next game after that is the Alabama game. We do have a week off between Tennessee and Alabama, but you have to ask yourself a little bit, fan base or player or coach, how much is, looking ahead going to play a factor in this? Kirby would look at us both in the eye and say that's a non-factor at all, but it's realistic. I mean, a lot of these guys are ready for that home night game against Alabama. It's going to be insane, but got to take care of business in Tennessee first for them to do that. So it's a big one, man. I love the way Georgia's schedule lines up that we can do that first. But it's going to be a battle for sure. I know this. Every team, every fan base has this massive target on Georgia's back, and deservedly so. So Georgia will get its best from everybody, no matter where they are. And Tennessee is going to be that ultimate test right off the bat. So it's an intriguing one, man. I can't wait for it.
I love it. Logan Booker from 960 The Ref down there in Athens, Georgia, host of the morning show right there in Athens, doing a great job each and every day covering the Georgia Bulldogs and Atlanta sports as a whole. Logan, thank you so much for making the time here this afternoon. We'll have to check back in again soon.
Absolutely, man. I'll see you up in Knoxville, and hopefully you make your way down here pretty soon too, buddy.
I love it. Logan, thank you as always, my friend, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Logan Booker, 960 The Ref over there in Athens, does a great job with their morning show. And longtime friend of the program, Logan Booker. So great stuff from Logan. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this Thursday edition of The Chase with Saturday Down South's Ethan Stone in studio with us as we talk a whole heck of a lot more SEC football and Tennessee hoops. So stick with us. It's The Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
Check out our new and improved website at fanrunradio.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jacob Wilco, and I'm proud to join the team here at Knoxville Smiles, where we're leading the way in comfortable, modern dentistry. Many people are anxious about going to the dentist. Here at Knoxville Smiles, our team works hard to make the experience as comfortable as possible. We offer everything from warm blankets to sedation dentistry to help you relax and make your visit as enjoyable as possible. So if it's been a while since you've been to the dentist, give us a call at 865-539-1776 to experience a dental visit that will make you smile.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hi, this is Bo Kregner from the Kregner Group at Realty Executives. And I know there's a lot of choices here in East Tennessee when it comes to choosing a realtor. Here's why the Kregner Group is different. At the Kregner Group, our motto is walking by faith, serving others. It's how I live my life. It's how I run my business. Here at the Kregner Group, we're committed to doing real estate the right way. Faith, honesty, integrity. The Kregner Group. Call me anytime at 865-742-1035 or visit my website at bonowshouses.com.
Ready, set, hut. Wait a minute. Isn't this a Smokies commercial? It is, but tonight is Tennessee Titans night at the ballpark. Enter to win a free autographed jersey and Titans tickets. See you tonight.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
Hey, folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through. And if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
It's the Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. We got Saturday Down South, Ethan Stone in here as we continue on our player review series for Tennessee Vols Hoops. Felix Akpara last year, senior season, up ahead here as an Ohio State transfer. Great rim protector, great chemistry with Sakai Ziegler on the pick and roll. What did you see from Felix Akpara last year, Ethan? Where did he get better as the season went along? Where did he struggle? What do you make of Felix Akpara's ultimate season here on Rocky Top this past year?
I think he got better, probably more than any other player on the team, just improving as the season went along. Like he played his best games of basketball at the end of the season when it mattered. The Kentucky game stands out to me. I think he had 11 rebounds, 8 points, a block against the Wildcats, and that big win in the Sweet 16. But just in general, I feel like he got better at just establishing himself and realizing, hey, I'm 6'11", I can be that guy for Tennessee, and then he's also a guy that I think took advantage of just gelling within the system, and just, the longer he's there, I'm going to get better with this, and that's why I think he's a candidate to take a massive step this year, and Barnes has said that as well. I think Felix is going to be more of a presence inside. I'm interested to see how he improves as a rebounder, because he did that as the season went along. He wasn't really the best rebounder on the team, despite being the center and 6'11". He was more of the big thing about Felix was his rim protection, like you say. I mean, he was one of the better shot blockers in the SEC, and therefore one of the better shot blockers in the country. So seeing how his offensive game develops, seeing just how more physical he's going to be this year, that's what I'm most interested in. Like when we get into the deep in the SEC schedule, is he still going to be commanding? Is he going to take that step to be more of a just more of a physical presence inside? Because at the start of last year, he really wasn't. Like he was a good player. He was always an elite shot blocker. I don't think that ever really changed from the start of the season to the end. But it just felt like he was at times more confused about where he needed to be specifically in the defense. And as the season went along, as he learned Barnes' system, he just really fell into his role and became more of a dominant player. And man, as he gets bigger, as he learns more in the system, as he just spends more time around guys that he's played with for a while, I think that's going to pay dividends.
And I'm interested in how they stagger Felix, Alex. When you think about JP Estrella, Dwayne Brown, Cade Phillips, you don't want to. Felix is a non-shooter, so Felix is not going to be launching threes this season. There was always hope for Jonas Adu to eventually, start stepping out and shooting some threes, but Felix is a rim running 5, and that's his game. So, but you have to kind of balance Felix Akpara's skill set with the right guy next to him. And I don't feel like you can play. They did this last year, but that was more because they were thin, where they would play Felix and Cade together. I don't think with your options there, you need to be playing Cade and Felix together. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. And I think last year when they would do that, when they would go to that lineup, that was those times where you would sometimes see them go into those scoring slumps that kind of bit them last year. But I think this year, obviously, you get JP back, which is going to be big. Yeah. And we'll see what he can do on the scoring front. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with all those bigs in terms of scoring the ball, because we know they can play defense there.
Yeah.
But I think scoring the ball inside, for me at least, as somebody who watched that whole team last year and followed that whole team last year, covering them, I think that scoring inside is going to be the biggest thing that can help them this year. And I think, if they can unlock that, that's huge.
I kind of wonder if Barnes experiments a lot with JP and Felix inside, because you can hide JP on defense if you're able to play him with Felix, and you don't worry about the shooting as much. It's not something you're going to play a bunch of minutes, those two together. But again, JP has that ability potentially to stretch out, and we'll see if he is someone who is launching some threes and kind of helping with spacing on that front. But that to me is kind of the one where I'm like, I worry how much Barnes is going to trust JP as a anchor at the 5 defensively, and how much run he's actually getting there. So to me, I'm like, JP is going to get some significant playing time. I think he's going to have to be able to play some 4 next to Felix and kind of really help the spacing aspect of it. Do you agree?
Yeah, Masamba was my biggest wild card that I mentioned earlier. JP's second. Like if JP comes out and he is an improved defender after being off the court for 2 years, if he is what everyone thought he was going to be on offense, I think I think he'll probably play a lot at the 4, just because of how good and how much potential he has on the offensive end. Because Felix, and I think he could take a step in this department. He doesn't really have a move on offense. I feel like most of his points come from Zakai lobs or cleaning up the glass. Like Tennessee did not force the ball to him in the paint because he just doesn't really have that in his game right now. Whereas Estrella is on the opposite end of that. I think you kind of take a little bit off of the rim protection, but he can be elite when he has his back to the basket and just let him go to work. And it's I'm most interested to see of all the big men this season, just how he settles into that role. Like, will he be that dominant force on the glass that we're kind of expecting him to, or is it going to be a bit of a learning curve as he gets back to the game. I mean, the guy hasn't played against college basketball competition in 2 years. So that's always something to worry about. But I think there's definitely a lot of highs that Tennessee can have having those two on the court, just because I think they complement each other so well.
I wonder if they do with Felix to keep him engaged offensively this year. Where do you remember, this might predate you, Alex, a little bit, but Ben Wallace during the Pistons title run, if you remember, Larry Brown, and I think it was Larry Brown and Sheed and Chauncey talked about this, where they would have to throw Ben Wallace a couple early opportunities where it's just like, let him go do stuff, because he's not going to get the ball at any point later on in the game. It's like he's a defensive specialist at the 5. Like, that's just kind of, Ben, we don't need you to be a scorer. But those guys, it's hard to keep them engaged, where it's like you're just playing big time defense, you're battling bigs the entire game, you're putting your body on the line. It's a very physical type deal. Your rim running, catching lobs, that sort of thing. We saw that early. Where what game was it where they kept throwing it into Felix inside to see if he could go to work? It was one of those early games where
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, what are we doing? Like, it just was one of those early ones where we're experimenting. We're like, hey, Felix, if you got a bag here, let's see what you could do. And it was like, this is just not efficient basketball. We don't need to be throwing it inside to Felix and seeing what he can go to work. It's not the same when you're going to throw it inside to JP.
Was it Virginia or Baylor? Sorry to cut you off.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either, but I know exactly what you're talking about because it happened like 2 or 3 times in a row, and it's like, okay, guys, let's try something.
I would
else.
love when they would start throwing it inside. And
yeah,
like we would all just start laughing up there. It was
I thought it was Rick, just like he was staring me down from center court, like as he's doing this, he's like, Chase, I got you. Felix Akpara post up here on back to back. Let's see what we can do here. But it's just not his game. Like, he's a good player and he's good at this thing. But I think those guys, what they're good at is not fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole lot more fun to be a guy who is a post player, who has post moves, who will get an opportunity to put up some shots, do stuff inside, rather than just like, hey, we only need you to really block shots, rebound, and defend 1 through 5. Like, there's real value. You can get paid a lot of money in the NBA being that kind of guy.
Rudy Gobert proved it.
Rudy Gobert is the best version of that. Clint Capella is still in the league catching checks. I've watched a whole lot of Clint Capella in my lifetime, especially here at the Atlanta Hawks over the last couple years. He's a good player, but it's not a fun deal. It's not fun to be Clint Capella, I imagine, most nights and doing what he does in the NBA and what's asked of him, but he makes a good amount of money and there's a lot of value in the league when you play that style. But I don't know. I'm very curious what the next level for Felix is, because Barnes was super thin last year, Ethan. And when you think about how much more opportunity he's going to have, because it seems like early returns as Dwayne Brown looks like $1 million and someone who might help them as a true freshman out of Hoover. I mean, you got options. And if Cade really is going to start spacing the floor more, is he more of your backup to Nate Ament, where you have Nate playing 35, 36 minutes and Cade is the one who slots in at the 3? And then where do you go at the 4? Does that open the door for more? Because I think JP needs Cade to be able to space the floor more, because if Cade is able to slide up, that gives JP an opportunity to be like, hey, I can play 4 and 5 because you don't have as much depth, because Cade's able to back up Nate. So there's still a lot of position battles and minutes battles going on, but I am curious, because I feel like Felix is who he is, and that's a good thing. Like, I know exactly who Felix Akpara is going to be this year, and it's going to be a really good player. He might be the best defensive rim running big in the SEC. And that's great. Like, there's a lot of value with that. But I don't think we're going to see the threes. I don't think we're going to see the post-ups, hopefully, that we saw early on last year. But I do kind of wonder how that balance works. And also keep him out of foul trouble. That's probably something else has to get kind of cleaned up with him. And the rebounding. He's not an elite rebounder, which is odd with his size and frame. But maybe you hope that picks up more. But that's one of the more frustrating things last year. It's like Felix is just not, for whatever reason, a good rebounder.
And that was something kind of like I mentioned earlier. That was something that definitely improved as the season went on. He got way better at establishing himself in the paint and being able to go up. And that's, what I was talking about earlier also with the cleanups, the sheer amount of attempts he would get as it went on. Felix was not a scorer last year. Like, if you look at his stat line, you'd actually probably be a little surprised. Most games he scored under 6 or 5 points. Like, that is not the value he brought, just like you were saying just a second ago, Chase. But he still, I think, has a chance to be one of the more impactful players on the team, even if, I think he could develop some post moves, but even if he doesn't, he's still going to be a massive presence for the Vols.
Brett, you sent in some breaking news as we wrap up here on a Thursday.
Oh, I was going to talk about basketball, but yeah, the schedule, it sounded like Ross Dellinger is reporting that sounds like the conference could be moving towards 9 games, which is, I don't know, good or bad.
I love it myself. I love it.
Considering the season tickets are going up, people want to have better games. There needs to be better games at home.
Yep.
I get that part of it, but Ethan and we were talking during the break about it, where I think one of the potential casualties might be Louisville, Kentucky goes away. Georgia Tech goes away.
We don't care about them.
I care about those rivalries. I love rivalry week in college football the last week of the season. I want Florida to keep playing Florida State the last week of the season. And if those teams now go, well, we're playing at 9 SEC games, we're not going to play 9 SEC games plus a Big Ten game with that SEC Big Ten deal.
They would
And then
keep that
also
game, right?
Which
Louisville,
one?
Kentucky?
No.
Well, if they go to 9? No. Why?
Because I mean that's all the because they're look so it's
they're going to get rid of Florida State?
Probably, yeah.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you can have both. Like, I think if you are going to do 9 SEC games, they're going to look at it as like, well, we're playing 9 big time competition games, and then we're also playing. There was that requirement of having what is
3 permanent.
Well, not 3 permanents, but what is the rule in the SEC where they have to play a certain? Is it not Power 4? They do play. Everyone in the SEC plays a Power 4, not like a non-conference Power 4 game every year. So Tennessee this year it's Syracuse. Like, are you going to do that and use your rivalry game for that one, and then also do the Big Ten SEC Challenge? Because that's the other part of this, is that's been rumored. And if you're going to a Power 2 format anyway, like, why would any SEC school, whether or not we agree with it or not, do a Big Ten game, 9 SEC games, and then also like Florida State, Louisville, whoever? Like, they're not going to do it. There no SEC coaches signing up for that.
Maybe not. I could see no SEC coach signing. If that would be my caveat as well, because like I was telling you, Chase, during the break, it pains me enough that Bedlam is gone. You can't get rid of Georgia Tech and Georgia. And,
yeah.
There's more important ones. Florida State, obviously, are some big ones. I mean, obviously my pick, and that's a good point that you brought up, that it's going to make the schedule harder, but get rid of the Georgia versus West Carolina, the Tennessee versus East Tennessee State. I understand that's going to have a negative effect on those programs. That's where a lot of their money comes from. But at the same time, like, if we're trying to move forward and this is what college football is becoming, if you're going to have 9 games, you cannot get rid of clean old-fashioned hate and all those fantastic rivalry games that the regionality of college football is dying, folks. Like, we have to keep that intact at the end of the day. And if you don't have these in-state rivalries at the end of the day, and like I just said, losing Bedlam, like that's a crime. That we got to keep that in some way, shape, or form together.
Conference games are going to matter here soon. If they're going to do this Big Ten proposal, 24 to 28 games, then they're really not even going to matter. So it shouldn't even matter who you put on the schedule.
I don't want to go down that road. We're not going 24, 28. You're not baiting me at the end of this very program, Brett. You won't get me here.
I might.
I mean, I know you're trying, but we're ending on a positive note. Things are great.
Basketball soon.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Knoxville. The chase has come to a close here on a Thursday. Thank you to Ethan Stone. Thank you to Brett Hollander. Thank you to Alex Sarkis. Stay with us. The Drive with Russell Smith and the Bear coming up next. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Have a wonderful afternoon, Knoxville.
The Chase on